Charles Soule and Luke Ross kick off the War of the Bounty Hunters properly as Boba Fett kills his way through the underworld to learn who stole Han Solo from him, learning that it was an old criminal empire that has finally returned after many years. Charles Soule masterfully crafts an opening act for his mega event, getting everyone and their mothers involved in one way or another, building up to something really huge in the form of 2 reveals this issue. Those obviously being that Crimson Dawn has returned to the galaxy, and it's being led by none other than Kira, whom last we saw in Solo A Star Wars Story was leaving Han on Savareen to go and meet with Maul on Dathomir. It's such a great swerve from what I originally thought was going to be Black Sun making a return along with Prince Shizor, bringing that character back into canon, being as that this story is very much similar to that of Shadows of the Empire. I liked Kira's reasoning for taking Han this issue as well, with the universe needing to be united now more than ever, and Han Solo is the best way to do that. It's great since it ties wonderfully back into the recent issues of Soule's Star Wars Ongoing and Ethan Sachs's Bounty Hunter book, which both showcased Han's effects on the people around him and how he means a lot to these people despite being a regular old smuggler. As a reader of all these books, it's so good to see it all come together in a really organic way, and it's really rewarding for someone who's reading all these books as well. Soule, along with people like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni with The Mandalorian, have done wonders with Boba Fett as a character, giving him an actual personality and not making him this walking Gary Stu like he was in the Legends. He's got a dark sense of humour here, and it's great watching him play that against other hunters as well as well-known characters like Han Solo and Luke Skywalker. Luke Ross takes over with the artwork on the main series in the event, and it works wonderfully and it fits the galaxy far, far away really well. I quite enjoyed how light and rather colourful he made his work, yet it still had that sort of gritty factor that is needed, especially when visiting places like Nar Shaddaa and Tatooine. Crimson Dawn ship also got an overhaul as well, and I love that he kept the weird, long, upended design that we saw in Solo for it, and just gave it a little bit more flair and a little bit more colour. Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters issue 1 was a great and twist-filled beginning to Charles Soule's and the entire Star Wars team's big summer event, setting up the main players of the game really well while also reintroducing some heavy hitters back into the Star Wars universe that I'm sure are going to surprise a lot of people. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters issue 1 finds a woman asking if it hurt for Han to be frozen in carbonite. Another being says that the process seems to be quick, but judging by the look on the man's face, it was extraordinarily painful. In deep space on the Vermilion, a ship docks and its crew are welcomed back by a hooded woman who learns that they took Solo from a back alley doctor on Nar Shaddaa, who managed to fix a malfunction on the carbonite device, and it seems to have worked. The woman asks if he's conscious, but the women don't know if he is, since that would be some type of hell. The hooded being doesn't think so, since he could be living a dream or a memory. She knows that Solo will last long enough for their purposes, wanting the invitations to be sent out. Her people warn her the doctor they took him from was working for someone else, and the woman knows that it was Boba Fett, and while he's good, he's just one man, and they are all of this. So if he wants his property back, he's welcome to try. Boba Fett meanwhile tells a bartender on Nar Shaddaa that someone will die for stealing for him. The bartender asks if it was a special someone, but he says that it was a bounty he went to a lot of trouble to get. The man asks if he knows who was stupid enough to steal from Boba Fett, but the hunter doesn't know yet. Elsewhere in the cantina, the small-time hunter Tekrit finds a bounty was just posted on Boba Fett, who is standing literally feet away from them, and he tells his partner that this could set them up for life. The man pulls his blaster from its holster as Fett knows that Doc Ragan's district is quite busy, so someone would have had to have seen something. He sees Tekrit moving in behind him in the reflection of his glass, turning and blasting the man dead, knowing that could have been about anything from money to revenge, but it all ends the same. Fett takes his leave, heading back to his ship as he sends a message to Bib Fortuna, wanting it known that he is on the way to Jabba but has been delayed. As he boards his ship, a bomb goes off, blasting him back out onto the platform as Zuckuss confronts him, telling Fett to stay down if he wants to survive. Fett thinks that booby-trapping his own ship is low, but Zuckuss reminds him that they are bounty hunters, and they live in the low, demanding Fett answer his questions. Boba fires off his jetpack missile, distracting Zuckuss long enough for him to grab his blasters and get into the air with his jetpack, wondering why Zuckuss didn't predict that would ever happen. Zuckuss, however, did, which is why 4LOM is watching Fett from behind. Fett disarms himself, wanting to answer the Gang's questions, so Zuckuss wants to know where Han Solo is, since he's not on the ship, and if Fett tells him, he will live. Fett can't believe that they went inside his ship, finding it quite disrespectful since that once belonged to his father. He activates his wrist controls, getting Slave One's cannons to blow up the platform. Fett rockets out of the way of the explosions with his jetpack, returning to the ground and to Zuckuss, who is hanging on the ledge, saying that he cannot die this way. Boba disagrees as the Gang pleads for his life, saying he could tell Fett his future, seeing a sea of red and Boba drowning in it. Fett isn't interested, kicking Zuckuss from the platform. He soon finds the destroyed 4LOM, saying that he's got some questions of his own. He rips the droid's head off, taking it into his ship and linking the droid's brain with his ship's systems. He tells the droid to stop fighting the restraining bolt he put on it and tell him who sent the duo. The droid says there was a bounty placed on Boba Fett and it's an open contract, surprising Fett since it's on him, not Solo, learning it's for him dead or alive. Knowing everyone in the galaxy is now after him, Fett wants to know who set the bounty, learning that it was Jabba the Hutt. Fett heads to Tatooine, taking 4LOM's head with him as it says that it can help translate for Fett and even help with his targeting, but Fett throws the head from one of the cliffs, telling the guards to get out of his way. Bib Fortuna comes by, saying that Boba Fett is a guest of Jabba's. Boba knows that Bib got his message, and the Twi'lek says that Fett is one of Jabba's most favoured bounty hunters and surely they can complete business without any violence. Fett knows that he's wrong, instantly killing the guards before turning on Bib, wanting some information on why a bounty was placed on him and not Solo. Bib says that he was taking too long to bring Solo to them and they heard that someone else had Solo now, which means that Fett betrayed Jabba and gave up his prize to someone else. Fett says that Solo was stolen from him, wanting to see Jabba to clear this all up, but he learns Jabba isn't there. Fett demands to know where he is, as in hyperspace on a barge, Jabba meets with the other Hutt Lords, wondering if the rumors are true, but Jabba knows that it doesn't matter since these people have proven to his satisfaction that they possess Han Solo, so he doesn't care who they are. Mika the Hutt knows that if they are real, they haven't made a move in years, and this could provide a destabilizing effect amongst their ranks, since they were powerful in their day. The other Hutts aren't too worried, with some even hoping it's real, since the parties these people threw back in the day were the best. Marlowe the Hutt is awakened from his slumber by his droid to give his opinion, but the old Hutt goes on about the long-dead Chancellor So and her cats. Jabba wants the almost 1,000-year-old Hutt to rest, since there's more important things to consider, since the person who ran this organization before couldn't stay hidden for long, since he would have revealed himself already and he hasn't. So Jabba thinks that person is dead, which means that someone else has taken over, someone who could have killed this person, which would have made them rather formidable. Jabba tells the others not to worry though, since they are Hutts and they take the long view of whatever comes, so they'll be ready with their fleet. Fett learns that Jabba got an invite from the people that took Han Solo, and Bib knows that it's time Fett left, while he still can as the denizens of the palace begin showing up. Fett knows the weight his name carries, however, knowing the people want to live, but if they fight him, most of them will die, and they'll be dying for Bib Fortuna. The people let him in so he can see the invitation with his own eyes. Activating it, he finds the hooded woman saying that Jabba is invited to be present alongside the other great galactic powers to witness the return of Crimson Dawn, who only wish to engage in galactic society again and do business, and as a gesture of goodwill, they offer up Jabba Han Solo, looking forward to seeing him at the celebration on Jakara, but until then, they are to await the dawn. Boba realizes that Crimson Dawn stole Han Solo from him to impress Jabba, making him very unhappy, so he wants Bib to fix up his ship since he's going to Jakara to get his property back. Bib wonders how he's going to do that since Crimson Dawn, while diminished, are still rather dangerous and he's but one man, but Boba reminds him that he's Boba Fett and he said someone is going to die for this, and now he knows who. On Jakara, Crimson Dawn's ship lands as the hooded woman's servant asks why Han Solo is so important. The woman says that she needed the attention of the entire galaxy and Han Solo was how she got it. The servant asks how that could be possible since he's just a smuggler with a terrible reputation. So the woman says that while he is that, he is also directly tied to almost every powerful faction in the galaxy, from the rebellion to the Empire and everyone in between. Luke, Leia, Lando and Chewie meanwhile prepare to go and find Han as Valance and Dengar fight their way through rival hunters to find Boba Fett, and Dr. Aphra and Sana Starros learn that Crimson Dawn have returned and they have Han Solo. But Aphra doesn't want to make this her problem, wanting to leave all of this to Sana. The woman says that all these people love or hate Han Solo and need him in one way or another since he unites the galaxy and that's what it needs right now. The woman is revealed to be Kira, who says that Han wanted to save her at one point and now he'll get the chance, telling her servant to continue the preparations since their guests will be arriving soon.